Stillness and blessing, love and light, health and wholeness. Stillness and abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. Pardon me. Stillness and abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. Stillness and abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. To the soul control and cosmic consciousness, family and soul tribe. I hope everybody feeling good for no reason at all. They told me to start it off in the fire off the rip. So we're going to get off in the fire and burn off anything that don't belong in our force field of frequency. Glad to be in the flesh, stillness and abundance, family. Love and light, health and wholeness. I hope everybody's feeling good for no reason at all. This is your host and co-pilot, South Regard. I'm feeling good for no reason at all. I don't need a reason to feel good. I'm glad I'm here. I hope you all are too. Cause everybody ain't make it today. So I'm sure there's many people that upon their grand rising woke up and ran to the bathroom before they gave thanks to inhaling a breath through what we call another day. So I appreciate the forces that be to allow me to be present. When you're not in meditation, who are you? And the reason that I'm able to ask this question because I'm constantly, not only have I, but I'm constantly disciplining myself to always remain in a state of meditation without sitting somewhere with my legs folded up. It's a mental thing, it's a mental universe, so it's a mental thing, it's a mental application. And practice do make perfection. When you're not in meditation, who are you? Because I see people shapeshift. We see people shapeshift, but a lot of times when people going through different shapeshifts according to what's going on mentally and emotionally in their spirituetic being and in their energetic field, we don't even know what we witnessing. We have no idea of what we are witnessing taking place right before our very eyes or eye, depending on which one you're looking through. If you want to learn faster spiritually, you got to get off the grid spiritually. Now, most times when we hear people speak about getting off the grid, we usually think it consists of selling all your shit, your property, selling all your property, all your possessions, and going off somewhere off in the woods into some remote place. That's for physical getting off the grid, but spiritually getting off the grid is totally different. To get off the grid spiritually, or spiritually off the grid, is different from the physical getting off the grid, because spiritual off grid means having the ability, the capability to turn yourself inward and away from the happenings that are going on in the outside or external world. The happenings of the outside world is not registered as positive or negative. I'm going to say it again. Events in the outside world should not be judged as positive or negative, but should be used to give us balance, internal balance, no matter what is happening. Let everyone and everything, positive or negative, play its part that it was made to play, as we all play on this dance floor of earth through this illusion as we experience life. In this illusion complex, it gives us the chance to remain centered, regardless of, as I say, what's going on outside, without becoming disbalanced emotionally and energetically by any of the outer activities happening, quote unquote, outside. Because nothing happens outside, no matter what we're seeing, because you are the processor. And the more that we learn that we are the processor, we'll be able to better determine how we let what we see, hear, determine how we act, respond, and feel. Walk with me. You gotta be the one you was looking for. Don't argue, don't push, don't react. Why is this important? Because it's better to let people think they won sometimes. No matter how right and exact you know you may be, it's better to let people think they won sometimes than stoop to their level to be heard or just to be right because you know you're right. When in actuality, no matter how right we may be in whatever particular time we confronted with these type of situations, you can never be right for somebody else. You can only be right for yourself. Until the information that you have applied and put into practice throughout your daily life has been established in whoever you're trying to share with, they'll never get what you're saying. Maybe on an intellectual basis, but not on a practical, soul building level. And why is that important? Because we get caught up in dialogues that take us way from the intention that the dialogue originally started in the first place. So we have to be paying attention, because most times in these processes when this occurs, people get hurt. Words are powerful. And there's so much hurt in the gravitational field of this planet that we need healing more than a lot of us are willing to accept. But I'm only able to express what I'm expressing by the way of doing a lot of self-work and healing, walking through healings, with the scars and damages that had been placed and tears that had been placed upon me once upon a time. So it feels good to be in a space of healing, a frequency of healing, an expression of healing, and love and light, and health and wholeness. And I wanted to get through that to say, healing don't mean that pain never existed. I spoke on it in the previous video. Healing don't mean that pain never existed. It only means that you no longer have to carry it around with you. It's important I don't know who need to hear this, so I'm gonna say it again. Healing don't mean that pain never existed. It only means that you no longer carry pain around with you. And to be healed, to speak healing, to speak in the frequency of love, it don't make you soft. It don't make you a chump. It don't make you a punk. God forbid somebody try me out of nature, but my point is to say this. You could be street, you could be gangster, you could be cool, you could be whatever you see yourself as, and still be spiritual. And still have love and respect for life, the universe, nature, and everything else that consists of us being here. You can still be however you choose to see yourself and be spiritual. But spirituality is not something that you put on. It's not something that you drive. It's a lifestyle, and it's a discipline. And it's not meant for anybody. It really not, because it exposes you for what you're not. Whether we are aware of it or not, we always transmit, which brings me to the point. Whether we are aware of it or not, we always transmit telepathically what we plan to say, write, or feel before we even do any of those three things. We always transmit telepathically. Before we was speaking, before we was writing, we was doing this mentally. We here to remember this. It's automatic. It's the natural way we spoke. It's the natural way we spoke. It's the natural way we communicated. And we change as souls, telepathically. If we practice the discipline and the art of meditation enough, you'll realize how true that is when you tap into the collective conscious and you're able to transmit, disseminate, and communicate what frequencies impact upon us. This is why some of us pick up on the intentions of people. The intentions behind what people say, the feelings connected to it, and we recognize if discord is connected to it. We're able to recognize if people are ingenuine, or if there is an ingenuine energy. Because ingenuine energy, it's not necessarily the people that we have to be watchful for. We have to be careful of what type of energy people are entertaining and carrying. But that's what empaths pick up on. That's what empaths are able to read, or psyches are able, to read. What's transmitted is not always best of what we are able to put into words. And for any of us who are able to do it, you know what I mean. It's just like when you're given inspiration. And that inspiration that you're given may become a picture that you draw, or words to a song. For those who have these abilities to tap into certain artistic gifts or have artistic capabilities, you know that the words that become a song, not always necessarily how they came to you when you translate it into the words of a song. Somebody, it resonates with somebody. My point is, when you receive the whole multi-sensual dimensional picture collectively and put it into expression, it's never at the frequency it was given to the recipient. So this, spirituality is something to play with. You can't put it on and take it off, because once you see, you can't unsee. And once you were shown, the last thing you want to do is act like it wasn't shown to you, because consequence come with disobedience. Right now is a very good time to place oneself under humiliation, humbleness. Really tap in. The veils are thin. We're being bombarded with all type of energies, So, do what you know. Be aware of what you place as obtainable and what you interact in and the way you engage. The veil is thin. I say it again. It is extremely important to stay aligned, attuned, and tapped in to your higher self. And really be aware of what you're perceiving and receiving emotionally, so you can be able to stay in balanced frequency of your personal energy. With that, feel good for no reason at all. Remain true and genuine to your authentic self, and inspire, compliment, and encourage somebody. Peace.